Hello and welcome to another Hey Live event. My name's Josh Nesbitt and I run Hey. Hope you're keeping well in these challenging times. I'm really excited to welcome you to the autumn and winter of Hey Live events. Like everyone else, we're keeping a pretty close eye on the government guidelines, and when it's safe to do so, we're really excited to get started on these in-person events again. But for the foreseeable future, we will be moving to these Hey Live events in this streamed format. It's great for a number of reasons doing these streamed events. The biggest one for me is that we get to reach a much larger group of people with the stream being over the internet. So a few weeks ago we released the schedule for Hey Live this autumn and winter. We have two events primarily to focus on. The first one is this one with Lu Liu, and the second one is in November with Sharon Steed. I'd like to thank Conveyor Digital for supporting us on these events. Sponsorship on this level is really important to allow us to continue doing these events and of course pay our speakers fairly. If you head over to the Hey website, you'll be able to click through the Conveyor Digital link to see an event they're putting on later this month. This is around some of the great work that they're doing as well as some other interesting topics, so definitely take a look. So this evening's event, I'm really happy to welcome Lu Liu to the virtual stage tonight. Lu got in touch a while back asking if she could get part in an event, and she was talking about how she'd really like to deliver a talk on getting into technology, having changed from a different industry. She thought it'd be really great to do a talk on how she got into technology and some of the experiences and tips that she kind of walked away with. Sometimes I think when we're in the industry, we forget how it is coming to the industry fresh. We forget what it's like coming to kind of brand new environment and learning all this stuff from scratch. So I'm really excited to welcome Lu tonight to share her experiences with us. So I really appreciate her giving her time. So don't forget, Lu's also in the Slack channel. She's now taking questions. If you'd like to ask her anything, I'm sure she'd be happy to answer them, not just on getting into technology or any questions you may have to her. I'm sure she's more than happy to answer them. So a huge thanks to Lu again for her time. So here she is, Lu Liu on getting into technology.
Hi everyone, my name is Lu. I'm super excited to be here and share my journey into tech with you. A massive thank you to Josh, who got me involved in this amazing tech community. First of all, I'll give you a brief introduction about myself. I'm a software engineer in a financial service company. I'm working on financial models that predict the performances of thousands of companies. Those models are used to help our clients find the next big financial opportunity and avoid poor investments. Apart from the coding part, my daily work also covers a lot of different things, including building pipelines, deploying models to the cloud platform, etc. And I also use a wide range of different tools and technologies at work. Actually, I just had my first work anniversary as a software engineer last month. 1 year ago, I barely knew most of the tools and technologies that I'm using in my daily work. And this is the main reason why I'm so excited to share my journey with you today, especially for those who want to change their career path or students who want to start a career in tech. Hopefully, you can find something useful from my story. So I come from a petroleum engineering background, and I did engineering for my undergraduate in China University of Petroleum. Then I worked in the oil and gas industry for a couple of years. 2 years ago, I came to the UK to study data science at the University of Leeds, and I got a job offer after I graduated. Since then, I've been working as a software engineer. So how did I get into tech? My story of getting to tech is probably not a very dramatic story, but when I look back to a few years ago when I decided to change my career path, it did take me a lot of courage to make that decision, to be honest. The turning point is that I started my study in data science and analytics at the University of Leeds. I I don't really know why I chose it, if I'm being completely honest. Because at that time, I just want to try something different and something I know I'm capable to do. I really enjoyed my time in Leeds Uni, and I'm really lucky to get a job offer after I graduated, which gives me the opportunity to actually work in tech and get some industry experience. It was a graduate scheme, which was really great because I got the chance to explore, to learn everything. My company and my team have been very supportive in terms of my professional self-development. It's very exciting because I know how hard it can be for an international student to secure a job after an 1 year course. At the same time, it's also quite intimidating because I have to learn tons of new things. I can still remember the excitement and the frustration in the first few months after I started my role. I can't even remember how many evenings and weekends I spent learning online courses about coding, AWS, and all sorts of different tools. And it always seems like there are endless things that I need to learn, need to get familiar with. But turns out it's all worth it. Those pressure are turned into my motivation. I got my AWS Associate Developer Certificate after 6 months of joining the company. To be honest, I still can't believe I managed to do it because I had no idea what AWS was before I started my role. My daily work also actually helped me a lot because it involves a large amount of AWS related work, which allows me to gain some hands-on experience. So yeah, it's been really challenging but also rewarding. In terms of advice, I'm definitely not someone who got many years of experience in tech, but I think my advice, based on what I've been experiencing at the beginning of my career in tech, is probably more practical and relevant for people who just started this journey or those who are still considering to step into this area. So the first advice that popped into my mind is to take baby steps. There's an old Chinese saying, 水滴石穿, which means dripping water can break through the stone. We should never underestimate the power of persistence. Let me give you an example. So I've been keeping notes both on my notebooks and my laptop since I started my first day at work. The notes on my notebooks are mainly to-do lists that I made at the beginning of the day, or some quick notes from a meeting or a conversation with someone. Also, most of the time, the first step for me to solve a problem is to draw things on my notebook, and those random drawings can really help me think. The notes on my laptop basically track most of the work I did every day, especially things like errors or issues I encountered during the day and how I fixed it. So that next time if I see something similar, if I can't remember how I solved it before, I can just open my notes and search for some keywords, and I'll be able to browse all the related notes I made before. It seems like an easy thing to do, but trust me, it's hard if you want to keep doing this day by day, month by month. But I'd say it's definitely very beneficial. A year later, when I looked back, I was so surprised how much stuff I've learned. I might not be able to remember every single detail, but they're all there. Every time when I see a bug or an error message, I don't treat it as something bad. Instead, I'll feel very excited about it because I'll have something to write down in my notes, and next time if I encounter a similar issue, I'll be able to solve it faster. And in this way, my skill is improving little by little every day. That's the moment when I realized how powerful it can be to learn to take baby steps and be persistent. So the second advice is to believe in yourself. I think it's completely normal to have self-doubt sometimes. At least that's the case for me. And I always make sure my self-doubt won't go beyond my confidence. Sometimes when people ask me about my job, they seemed surprised when I told them I'm a software engineer. I remember once someone said that working in tech must be quite difficult for females. I mean, I agree with the difficult part. Yes, I would say it is definitely not an easy job, but not because of gender. All the jobs can be challenging when you are still learning and don't have much experience. Especially for the tech industry. Technology is always changing and evolving. I have to learn new things all the time and keep myself up to date. I always believe in myself, and I know my colleagues are not expecting me to know everything, and I'm not expecting them to know everything either. We've been learning and improving our skills since we started from the first day. At the end of the day, I think problem solving and self-learning skills are probably the keys to keep me forward and make progress. And it has nothing to do with gender. If you ask me if I have ever encountered any difficulty because I'm a female, I would say no. But as the only female in my team, my male colleagues probably won't notice if I got a new haircut or changed the color of my nails. And they would probably talk about things like the new SpaceX launch, or talk about investments, which are something I'm less interested in. That's probably the only downside, being the only female in the team. When I was studying Leeds Uni, I used to volunteer in some events that aim to encourage more young females to step into STEM courses. And I found actually there are quite a lot of amazing women in tech communities that I can get involved in. So if you are someone, especially if you are a female who's considering to change your career path into tech, or just started your career in tech, just believe in yourself that you can do it, and don't make decisions based on what other people think or what they tell you. The third advice is to stay curious. As I said, technology is changing all the time. This means we have to keep learning and be curious about new things, new technologies, and don't be afraid of asking questions. There are tons of resources online that we can find to improve our skills. I've been leveling up my knowledge about AWS on a website called A Cloud Guru. It has different membership options, free and not free ones. My company provides us memberships to access the resources on this website to support our self-learning. So if you are interested in cloud, you will love this website. The best feature I like about it is that they have an AWS sandbox, which provides a real open AWS environment for us to learn and explore without worrying about the bills. So before I know about this sandbox, I used to explore AWS with its free tier. And I had to be very careful and keep an eye on my bills every month, because if you forget to stop and, for example, an EC2 instance, and you might end up with a large bill at the end of the month. So I started using a Cloud Guru AWS sandbox once it becomes available. And I can learn and explore most of the AWS services without worrying about anything. So another really good learning resource I'd like to mention today is the Machine Learning Engineer course on Udacity. If you are interested in machine learning and how to build and deploy the machine learning models to a production environment, this course is a good one to start. And you'll also get some hands-on experience on the AWS SageMaker. So the last piece of advice is mainly for people who are still looking for a job in tech. I know how hard it can be to get a job or even get an interview, especially during this current situation. But all I want to say is that it's not because you are not good enough. Sometimes you just need a little bit of luck. So please don't give up. Keep trying, and you'll get there eventually. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lu. It was great to hear of your experiences and insights on getting into technology. If seeing that's made you think, have any questions for Lu, please do feel free to ask her. She's still in the Slack community. If you want to ask any questions, don't hesitate. Lu is super friendly. She doesn't bite. She's more than happy to answer any questions. Of course, if you'd also like to join Lu in speaking on this virtual stage, please do get in touch. We welcome anyone to speak, even if you've not done a public speaking gig before. We'll kind of support you in this. We'll try and help you get your talk prepared and anything else that you might want to do. Please get in touch. We really do welcome anyone who wants to come and speak for us. Also, thank you for Conveyor Digital for sponsoring the event this evening, and obviously for the event that we're going to have in November. And for all of you that have watched this evening, really appreciate it, as I'm sure Lu does, you giving us your time. So we'll be back on the 10th of November with Sharon Steed talking about empathy. I'm really excited to welcome Sharon back. Sharon spoke at All Day Hey in 2019, so she's one of the All Day Hey alumni. And I'm really happy to welcome her back. We're going to be doing a live chat on the 10th of November. That's going to be really fun. We've been talking a lot ahead of the event. Sharon's based in the US, obviously a really important time for the US with the election going on, so we thought we'd schedule it just after the election. So I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about. So yeah, join us for the next event. Let us know what you thought of this on the socials, please. If you have any ideas about how we can make these events more accessible or any feedback in general, would really appreciate it. And that's it really. So thanks very much for your time. Take care and goodbye.